Thank you for joining me for yet another unboxing video, and today we have some more RPG goodness. This time it's Pathfinder role-playing game, Bestiary box number 1, brought to you by the great people at Paizo. Pathfinder role-playing game, Bestiary box. The brutal beasts of the Pathfinder role-playing game Bestiary come alive on your tabletop with this pawn-busting collection of more than 300 creature pawns for use with their Pathfinder role-playing game, or any tabletop fantasy RPG. Printed on sturdy cardstock, each pawn contains a beautiful full-color image of a monster from one of the core Pathfinder RPG monster references. Each cardstock pawn slots into a size-appropriate plastic base, making it easy to mix with traditional metal or plastic miniatures. With multiple pawns for commonly encountered creatures and more than 250 distinct creature images, the Bestiary box is the best way to ensure you've got the right creatures to push your Pathfinder campaign to the very next level. Again, there's your artists and all the good stuff about that. They also have a comprised list of all the different pawns that you will find inside the box, ranging from small, medium, large, and huge creatures. Again, it says here over 200, over 300 pawns will be in the box by the great people over at Paizo. And for more information, go to paizo.com/Pathfinder. So let us crack this bad boy open and see what kind of goodness we have inside the box. Oh yes, we have lots and lots of great pawns. So some boxes come with bases, some do not. So let's take a look at what we have here. So sheet number 1. Again, all the pawns are basically set up the same way. Usually on the sheet itself, it has a different characters. Sometimes they have multiples, as you can see here, multiples here, because their idea is that when you're doing an adventure and you walk into a room, usually you don't just find like one skeleton or find one scrum or one spider giant. You'll find multiple. So this way they give you a plethora of different ones to choose from. And then you can continue on through your adventure without any kind of problems. So again, when you look at the creatures, you're going to see that some sizes are different. First off, you know, it's Paizo. Their pawns are the best. The reality is we've got this here, the size differential. So again, it might have the same base, but the reality is, as you can tell, a gorilla is larger than a Rakshasa. Okay, so we see that right off the bat. And one thing you're going to notice on the bottom of each of it, you have your number of the character that they are. And then when you flip it over, it's the same picture on the back as well. So here we go. Let's take a look at these as your first sheet. As you guys know, I'm a very, very big advocate when it comes to playing role-playing games and using pawns, because the reality is, again, you know, if you want to buy a bunch of miniatures, that's cool. They come pre-painted. They're very expensive. You buy them pre-painted. And the reality is that this gives you a large quantity of different types of creatures that you can use to your game. The truth be told is that if you had to go out and spend all this money just on those characters alone, it would cost you a small fortune, because obviously you're not buying just the figures. You have to buy the paint and all that other good stuff as well to make sure that you have everything that you need to paint them up like this. So a character like this, which would have a multitude of different colors in it, of course it's going to cost you more money, because it's going to cost you more types of paints, the inks, all that stuff like that. With the pawns, you buy it once, you pop them out. When you're done with the adventure, pop them back in, because you know they're high quality. You pop them right back in there, and you're ready for the next adventure, versus having to store them and all these things. Also, obviously, these guys are flat versus figures, which are normally, obviously, you know, 3-dimensional. So, okay, so again, let's take a look at these right here. Now, again, if there's one critique I have about the Paizo pawns, is the fact, like, you look at this one, perfectly centered, perfectly centered, perfectly centered. Pretty much perfectly centered, but you see a little bit of that. I'm not sure what it is, but this element that's around here, a little bit is cut off here. And sometimes with the larger characters, you get the top cut off. Now, does it, and you see it right there where the leftover is. Does it really affect the way the pawn looks? A little bit, but does it bother me really? Not really, but I wish that they would just maybe bring it down a little bit, bring his foot up a little bit, bring it down a little bit, and center it. This way you wouldn't lose that top spot. Is it a major thing? No, it is not. But at the same time, every time I do an unboxing of pawns, I always bring that to highlight, because it's something that when I have purchased pawns from other companies, they tend to not have that issue. But, you know, it happens sometimes, so it's not a big deal. So again, like this character here, again, now, does it make a big difference on it? No. Would I like to see the full wing instead? The full staff instead? Yes, I would. So that's my only critique, and it's only a small critique. And again, just a reminder, all pawns, front and backs, are identical. So that's 2 sheets. Sheet number 3. Again, as you can tell, the artwork is brilliant. The colors are very vibrant. Really captures a feel for each of the characters. And again, there are so many characters in the Pathfinder world. They have, at this point in time, they have 6 bestiary boxes and 6 bestiary books as well to go with those boxes. Again, there's one that has again, it's a beautiful picture. Does it hurt? No. So that's why I'm not complaining about it. But again, you know, it does take away from it to some degree. But again, they give you 3. This way you have enough for an adventure, just in case you walk into a room, you're not going to find one drow standing there. You're going to find a bunch of them standing around. So the reality is, at least they give you 3. All right, moving on, as we say, continuing on. Elemental air, earth, fire, water. Some ghouls. You got harpies. What is this down here? You got a cool ankheg. Right? Again, backs are identical. Again, they're on high quality cardboard. In this set, it does not come with bases, so you could always pick up the bases. Paizo has bases, other companies have bases, so you can either use the Pathfinder or Starfinder. They're exactly the same. As you know, I've done the unboxing for both of them, for pawns for both Starfinder and Pathfinder at this point in time. And the reality is that you have plenty of bases to go around. And again, they have extra packs of bases. I think it's $10. And you get a bunch of different sizes in that as well. And again, you don't need to use 30 bases at one time unless you're doing a real big war or something of that nature. But again, there's a lot of characters being utilized. Okay, so we're moving up to our mid-sized creatures, which are all very cool, as you can tell. Great attention to detail. And the great thing, all the ones that you find here, of course, you find also you find inside the Bestiary tome as well, which is always very helpful. And that's one thing I like about what that Paizo does that other companies like Dungeons and Dragons and others do not do, which is when you're using one of their pre-made modules or adventure paths, what happens is that it'll say like you're going to fight a young blue dragon, and then it'll say 168 or what number they'll say there. It'll say Bestiary 1, page 165, and you'll find that actually on that page there, which is really cool. So I'm not sure if these are the numbers that are in the book, or if these are numbers just for the number of the on the sheet. Knowing that, I'll let you know that's from box 1. I'm not quite sure which way or why they did that. Not quite sure. Again, because these are very commonplace characters, you can also use this for any type of role-playing game, fantasy role-playing game. So whether you're playing, whether you're playing this one or Dungeons and Dragons, or you're playing any of the other Dragonbane or whatever you may be playing, the reality is that you have plenty of pawns to use. Oh, he just fell out. So it tells you, first of all, it tells you how good the quality is, and also the ease of which they come out. They go, and as you can tell, went right back in, no problem. Okay, that's sheet number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, that was sheet 6. Sorry about that. Sheet 6. We're on to sheet 7. Your golems, your giants, griffin, yeah, so that's absolutely awesome. Okay. That's sheet 7. Here we go. Sheet 8. Got a minotaur, giant mantis, manticore, lion, naga, nightmare, owlbear. Again, some characters you will have multiples of them. Some of them you'll only have one of them. Again, there's your complete sheet right there. Show your complete sheet that way. This one, so I'll make sure I do that again. There's your complete sheet. The larger one's the complete sheet. Do this one as well. And there you have them. Okay. Get another one. Again, there up here again, the wings are clipped up top, but that's okay. The legs a little bit clipped here too as well. Again, you get the basic gist of the character, so it's not like you're missing out on anything, but at the same time, it is you know, it's a little annoying at times. There's a unicorn, giant wasp, direwolf, wyvern, yeti. There's the complete board. That was popped out. We're gonna pop them right back in. There you go. Bat swarms, cockatrice, a choker, dark creepers, org, wraith, another wraith, dark mantle. Then we have these big ones over here. So again, as you can see, these are moving into the much larger vein. So I'm going to pop one of each out. This way you can kind of get a differential of the sizes that they're talking about in the different ones. We got 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do the 4th one. So you got, this is your small. That's your medium. That's your large. So we got your small, medium, large creature. Try to get so you see them all. And then you have your huge creatures. So there you can see the actual size differential between each of the pawns. Again, small, large, medium, and huge. There you have it. So that kind of gives you an idea of the setting and the sizing for it. Again, the large bases, the 30 mil board bases, that's the ones that the huge creatures go on. Put this guy back over into this one here, and this guy goes right back in here. There again. Again, each of your creatures, which are really black pudding. Oh, and he went flying. So I'll put him back in. There you go. Then we move on to the next level. A demon, a stretch demon, a quasit, Darrow, Imp Devil, Dog, Zorn, one thing I haven't seen yet are pawns for like Star Trek the RPG. I've never seen that for them. Again, there's your complete sheet there. which is interesting because there are so many characters in that realm of, or that world that they created, Gene Roddenberry created. And I don't think they have a pawn set out yet. So that's something I would think that Modiphius would do at some point in time, but I'm not sure if they have the capability of doing it or if they do it themselves. Not sure. It does, obviously takes a lot of art and licensing and all that stuff like that, but I would assume that they'd be able to do it. And I would buy those in a heartbeat as well. All right, so there's that. And then we're going to roll on to this here. Spider Swarms. You got a Retriever. Don't want to fight that. You got some Sturges. Varghoul. Veg Gimme. Of course, you got your zombies. A Will-O-Wisp. Giant Squid. A Treant. A Giant Slug. Shoggoth. Retriever. Very, very cool. There's your full, again, your full board. And your last board, which has your Fire Elemental Small, Water Elemental Small, your Goblin Warriors, which we all love, Intellect Devour, some Kobolds, Yeth Hound, and of course we've got our Mastodon, Giant Flytrap, Dragon Turtle, Ancient White Dragon, and then you have the Ancient Black Dragon, which are obviously huge creatures. So there you have it. You get a total of, let's count them down. Let's make sure we got the right number here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 sheets of counters, and you got a total of over 300 characters. And this is everything that's included, and this concludes our unboxing of Pathfinder role-playing game, Bestiary Box 1. As always, it's also brought to you by Paizo. For more information, go to paizo.com/Pathfinder. As always, thank you so much for joining me for this unboxing video. It's truly appreciated. If you enjoyed the video, you could always give us a thumbs up, leave a comment below. You could also hit that subscribe button. This way you're kept up to date as to any time we release new content to the page. As always, thank you so much for joining us. Be safe, be well, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll catch you on the next unboxing video.